Hey everyone, Tony here and welcome back to the channel. So D5 3.0 was just released with a lot of new features. We're talking volumetric clouds, we have a detailed ocean system, and we now even have true displacement. But there was one feature that I got to try that really caught my attention, and that is the new image to 3D. So this is a feature that allows you to convert images to 3D objects all inside of D5. But I want to put it through more practical examples with objects that I will actually use in my 3D scenes. So let's dive in. So here's a very typical scenario. Your client is going through Pinterest and finds another perfect chair that they like to see in the model. They send you one image and they ask to see an iteration with that product in the renders. You, as a good 3D artist that you are, understand that this is not going to be the final render and you don't have a lot of time to spend to model on one object. So you need something quick and fast. This is where image to 3D can come in really handy. In fact, any feature out there that allows you to do this with efficiency and accuracy, I'm all in for. But since D5 included this in version 3.0, we're going to give it a try. So you have this image with you, and in order to use the image to 3D in D5, I encourage you to get more than one angle, and you might not always have it. So here's a really quick fix. You go over to Nano Banana, you can drop that picture in and write a very simple and quick prompt. Just ask it to provide you with 2 extra images of this armchair of whatever product you have. Send that in and it will give you a couple of images right there. Having more images in this case is actually better, so we're gonna roll with this. So you grab these 3 images and go over to D5. We're going to go to assets, and in the model category, we're going to find AI model generation. And right here is where we'll find the image to 3D. So we're going to upload our images. Have one as your main image and enable multi-angled views. And you can upload the other 3. Give it a name. We're just going to call this wood armchair. It's going to cost us 1 credit and we'll send this through. It's going to take a couple of minutes, mostly 4 to 5 minutes, and you'll have a model ready to download. So from here, we're going to download and have it in our scene. So here is our model. It is actually pretty close to the reference image that we provided. And would I send this to the client? Yes, I would, because sometimes they need something that is good enough. Now, as far as the actual 3D model, the back does not look as accurate as to the 3D images I provided. So it tells you that this is not perfect. And in front, you can also see that it has a couple of artifacts that were not from the reference images. So it also tells you that it doesn't always generate 100%. But so far, not too bad. So you put this in the render, send it over to your clients, and you feel proud about what you sent. But the next day you get an email. Hey, models look absolutely stunning, but can you include this floor lamp right next to the chair? We would love to see a version of the render with this product. Of course, why not? So we go back. And once again, I encourage you to go to Nano Banana for this workflow. Put that image in, we can increase the resolution. So my prompt is very similar to the last one. Provide 2 extra views of this lamp, all in a white background. I wanted to see if it can make it easy for me to create PNGs out of these images and create separate images. Needless to say, it failed on creating separate images, but now I have angles of a higher resolution of this product that I can feed into D5. So let's keep going. So we're back into D5. We follow the same workflow, upload all of our images, give it a name, and use 1 credit to generate. And once that is done, we load it into our model, and here is what we get. So in terms of getting the actual silhouette of the 3D object, it does a really great job. And it also does a really good job for the material. Now, this is just one texture wrapped around this 3D object that you can add roughness or glossiness to, and the model will look pretty good. And you can also improve the quality of the material. For more control, you can always use the AI generated textures. Let AI generate the normal roughness and other textures so you have better control of the quality of the material. So in this case, you can see how D5's complete system has features that will cover where others lack. But if I wanted to create a translucent material out of this, I would imagine I would have a difficult time because all of this is just one object. So these models are pretty good for filling in the backgrounds. For example, here I am adding a light object, and you can see that it really sells the effect that is the actual lamp, an actual 3D model in the scene doing what it's supposed to do. But as I get close to it, you can see some of the imperfections of that 3D model. And similarly with the last case, there are those little black dots and artifacts that were not part of the reference image that somehow made its way to the 3D model. So perfect? Absolutely not. But will it save you time? Absolutely yes. As you can see from both of those examples, this tool is not perfect, but it definitely has its advantage. For starters, it's a huge time saver because instead of spending hours modeling basic objects from scratch, Image2 3D has a very simple workflow and gives you a usable model within minutes, which means more time for lighting, materials, composition, and actual creative work. Secondly, it gives you a faster client workflow, which means you can create concepts and previews much faster. This ultimately helps you out with deadlines, client previews, presentations, and speeds up your entire design workflow. And lastly, gives you more creative freedom. Because you spend less time on repetitive work, you can spend more time on being creative, doing more trial and errors, and trying things that will actually add real value to your project. So the point of a video like this is to show you that AI tools are here to speed up what we are already capable of doing as 3D artists. It's not here to take anybody's job, but it is our job to actually adapt with these tools so that we have more time to be creative. As always, if you watch all the way to the end, let me know in the comment section if you've tried D5 Image2 3D or if you've tried any other tool out there that does the same thing that you would like me to look at. So leave a comment down below, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.